Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Viraj Shah from Tata Trusts.
What if you had the chance to prevent all the diseases that you and your family are susceptible to for the rest of your lives? Would you take it? I want you to hold on to that thought for the next few minutes. While I try and demystify artificial intelligence and machine learning, I want to focus today more on what's in it for you. So today, what is it that AI can do? Driverless cars? Facial recognition? How about the 50-year-old face filter that's been doing the rounds on the internet? I want to show you this example of the fintech company introduced by Jack Ma, the founder of Alibaba. Jack's company is targeting small and medium businesses in China. These businesses find it extremely difficult to navigate the regulatory clearances to get access to loans. This is what Jack's company has been able to do. USD $2 billion in little more than 4 years. $290 billion. That's the state GDP of New Delhi. What's more interesting is they've served 16 million customers, and for each customer that they serve, they analyze 3,000 variables. What's amazing is they do it all in less than 3 minutes. You see that there's 0 bankers involved in the approval process, and there's just 1% default that this company faces as of now. I wouldn't be surprised if very soon this 3,000 variables goes up to something like 15,000 variables, and instead of 3 minutes that you see, this becomes very real time, a distinct possibility. When you talk about organizations and AI, patents is how they are presently ranked. While you see the usual culprits, Apple, Facebook, Microsoft on the list at the top, but what's more interesting is companies like Canon, Philips, Sony, and even Toyota Motor feature on this list. I work in the development sector, and one of our partners, the European Space Agency, they have a great database of how the Earth looks over a period of time. Such periodic databases lend themselves to very interesting use cases when you introduce artificial intelligence. Imagine you're able to layer on how crop patterns have changed over a period of time, layer onto that what has been the crop yield, and layer onto that how has the monsoon behaved in those years. A great example of how you could leverage crop insurance for the farmers who are struggling in rural Maharashtra. Radiology and cancer detection have been areas where AI has made significant advances, so much so that some people even say radiology, if you're looking at radiology for a 40-year career, this may not be the best time to do so. In the drug discovery space in pharmaceuticals, it's surprising to know that almost 90% of efforts go in vain, as 9 out of 10 drugs never make it from the pre-final to the final stage. You saw a lot of great videos here by my friend Adrian, and here I want to share the story of Shilpa. Shilpa is a 28-year-old working professional. She's into art, and she loves traveling. These are the summer months, and Shilpa decides that she needs a beach vacation. She wants to buy clothes, and she remembers this wonderful ad campaign by Westside, and she rushes to the Ghatkopar store. She finds these 2 very interesting outfits, and she just wants to check out which one of these suits her best. She picks them up, walks to the trial room, and sees a long queue. She has to rush back to her art class, She drops her clothes which are falling in slow motion, just like all the effort that the marketing team and the merchandising team have put. Skip to, what if we had AI? What if we had AI-enabled screens in our stores? Shilpa then walks up to the screen, scans the barcodes on these two dresses in front of the screens, and stands in front of them. With a swipe of her hand, she can check how these outfits look on her. Wait a second, we'll go one step further. She's planning a beach vacation, right? So she swipes her other hand, and behold, the beach background suddenly appears on screen. She not only knows how the colors of the dress look on her, she also knows what that would look on the beach. Interesting, isn't it? This brings me to the next section. The leading practitioner and researcher, Andrew Ng, says that there's a virtuous cycle of AI. Companies which have a large amount of data and enter AI very early have a distinct advantage over the competition. What he says is, with more data, you use algorithms to create better products and services. With better products and services, of course, you get more customers, more users. More users in turn give you more data, and the cycle goes on. What's interesting to see is algorithms, as one would expect, aren't going to be the differentiators going forward. It's going to be the data that you capture. My colleagues who are data scientists, they really hope to see data sets which are categorized label-wise in neat rows and columns. Guess which industry has this organized the best? Retail. So now I come to the part which I wanted to discuss in greater detail. So what's in it for you? As we scale to the next set of stores, when you open a new store in a tier 2 town in, say, Rajasthan, of course, there's a need to skill our frontline staff who engage with customers. What if we introduce artificial intelligence and made the training much more simple? You trained an AI algorithm and maybe introduced an Alexa or an Amazon Echo and used that product across your different stores. So each time you opened a new store, you wouldn't have to struggle in training the frontline staff. Advertising today is the space where artificial intelligence drives the maximum amount of revenues. This increases your click-through rates. When you open a new store in niche markets where you haven't operated before, it's all the more important to be relevant to your customer segment, because what works in South Bombay might not work in a tier 2 town in Rajasthan, and thus your marketing campaigns have to be super targeted. There are more opportunities in leveraging AI across the value chain. The example I gave you about crop insurance, we can extend that. What if you knew the price of food and vegetables before they hit your Star Bazaar? What if you knew how the price of cotton would fluctuate this season? That would help you decide your pricing strategy much more in advance. In-store merchandising and managing stocks are the examples that stand in place. One thing that I'm often told by my friends and colleagues who aren't computer science students or practitioners is that artificial intelligence sounds all fancy, sounds great, but I'm not into coding. What I want to share with them is that about 20 years ago, if you wrote a beautiful story or a great article, you'd have to chase publishers either in the magazine or newspapers to get them printed. Cut to now. Today, all it takes is an internet connection, access to a mobile or a laptop, and you can get your blog started and running on WordPress in less than 15 minutes. And that gives you revenues. You earn an income without actually knowing how to code or build a website. I think platformization of AI will lend itself to such use cases. Another thing that is often talked about is what does AI do? Does it replace people? That's not entirely true, because a lot of the information that today we use in our decision making is not at all captured in systems. Can we, the people who man the front stores, can we share those insights which are not captured in the computer systems to help drive better insights and get better revenues. I'd like to come back to my question of, would you take the chance if you could prevent all the diseases for you and your family? What if I told you that to get access to such technology, you'd have to share with me your genes, the data in your genes? I would capture that and store that in my database and use that to make decisions. Would you? What if I told you that you and your family could access that technology only if you shared these genes and the data in them with me? Would you then share this? There are challenges in AI. Ethics and AI is a field where a lot of research is being undertaken. The classical trolley problem also presents itself in driverless cars. Cybersecurity and data privacy are the challenges. I believe if we work hard enough as the Tata Group and even as a nation, we can navigate those challenges and drive revenues or drive growth for our country much more. I want to leave you all with this thought by Alan Turing, the father of modern computing. That's my time. Thank you. You've been a wonderful audience.